Hi guys, my name is Yuto Mogul. I'm the IT support and device manager for Money Forward in Tokyo, Japan. I also hosting a Japanese Mac admin group called JMUC. The agenda for today is about how we are moving forward to M1 Mac. Before we get into it, let me explain about Money Forward and how we use Jamf. After that, I would like to share about our journey to M1 Mac. First of all, why M1 Mac and what was challenging about it? What did we learn in the end? I hope some of the lessons that we learned will help you. First, let me explain about Money Forward. Money Forward is a fintech company. Since its launch in 2012, we aim to solve money related issues of all individuals and businesses through building an open and fair financial platform and providing essential services. Our vision is to move your life forward. And the vision is to becoming the financial platform for all. With these key values in our heart, we are moving forward to this day. Our business is rapidly growing since it's established, has over 40 services within 9 years. We have 4 core services in Japan. First, for business. Money for a Cloud is a SaaS for business that automates the accounting and HR workflow by integrating data from multiple platforms and applications around the back office. Second, for home. Money for Me is a personal financial management service. This helps you relieve your anxiety about money and management, your budget, and financial assets in one place and visualize your cash flow and balance. Third, Money for X takes on the various issues of clients and combines Money Forward's technologies and design capabilities to create new services that deliver convenience. Fourth, finance. Smooth cash flow is an essential factor for growth. We take care of all processes related to billing, such as screening, mailing, collection. And next, I would like to introduce our IT division. Our IT division is divided into 3 groups formed by CIO: corporate engineering, corporate infrastructure, and the IT support, where I am. My role in IT support is user support for employees, daily workflows, and device management. Here are the devices that we manage in our organization. The most devices are Macs with over 600, then Windows, tablets, and accounts over 1,200. Our IT environment is mostly built on a cloud based SaaS with more than 130 applications. In these environments, how are we using Jamf? We are providing CYOD program, which device includes such as MacBook Air, Pro, iMac Pro, and Windows to give employees a choice. 60% of these users choosing Mac. Here are the job type among Mac users. Most of them are software developers followed by business users and designers. And how exactly are we using Jamf? Here is our enrollment method. To create a smooth onboarding experience, we are pre enrolling in the warehouse. And Jamf will make it simple. First of all, fill out the spreadsheet for enroll, serial number, hostname, username, asset tags. This is similar to the inventory preload feature in Jamf Pro. Then, power on and connect to the network. The enrollment complete event will trigger the event policy to be called one by one, as stated in the script. This is designed to avoid conflicts between multiple tasks during enrollment. At last, enable firewall, reboot, good to go. We are also managing conditional access by integrating Jamf and Intune. Using conditional access, you can build a framework that allows access only from devices that deploy from the organization and have certain conditions. This will prevent users to access company resources from unregistered devices. And third, I would like to share how we are moving forward to M1 Mac. Before we get into it, what is M1 Mac? The M1 is Apple's first custom silicon system on a chip for use in its Mac computer lineup. Since 2006, all Macs have shipped with Intel chips that is also used on Windows PCs. The M1 is different though. It uses ARM architecture, which usually powers mobile devices like iPhones and iPads. ARM uses a simplified instruction set compared to Intel chips, which results in lower power consumption. Then, why should we move into M1 Mac? The first reason is that Apple announces they are moving from Intel to Apple Silicon. So we need to prepare for the ending sales of Intel Mac. Because if Apple makes a drastic decision when Intel Mac suddenly became unavailable, it could create a huge gap in our DevOps between new and existing devices. On top of that, the global chip shortage is an ongoing crisis, has led to major shortages to electrical devices, including PCs. But Mac was still reachable compared to Windows at that time, so we had to make a shift from Windows to Mac. As always, the transition can be challenging, but not all of them are so difficult. First thing first, Rosetta 2 has made a seamless transition for most of the application. Also, some policies and profiles had to be separated for M1 between Intel. But it was not difficult to separate them using Smart Computer Group by specifying their architecture type. Then, what was challenging about it? The virtualization tools was not supported yet when M1 was first released. After its official release, we tried to build with several images, but many of them failed. And the reason was the modules used in the images needs to be updated just for M1. It requires each developers to update their modules, which is not something that can be done instantly. Also, MySQL is not supported at this time. In our DevOps, sometimes we need a huge RAM to build multiple containers at the same time. In such a case, 16 GB is clearly not enough. This is expected to be supported in next gen Macs, Apple Silicon Macs, with more RAMs. By the way, this session is being recorded in mid September 2021, so we might have already announced in the season of JNUC. And there are a few minor issues. Many of CLI tools and libraries that are not supported in M1. For example, simple pip install will fail on occasional situation. Due to path issues, many of homebrewers are struggling even now. File mount applications, such as Box Drive, were not supported yet. It is currently in beta channel, and we are waiting for official release in near future. So, how did we get over these M1 specific issues? The first step was to build an M1 community. In order to have a community understand challenges we are facing, we actively hand out M1 to cross-functional engineers, VPOE, and the board members such as CEO. The next step was to create a knowledge base. In most cases, solutions to M1 specific issues have been already in discussion on many forums. So I asked community to create a tips on our knowledge base. Then share how did you solve those issues for newcomers with M1. There are still few remaining issues. We are still in progress, but I believe as long as we're trying, this can be resolved sooner or later. Our next challenge is that shifting from Windows to M1 Mac. As I mentioned earlier, due to supply issues, the Windows that we have been using suddenly run into out of stock. But we have to keep scaling. There's over 60 members joining every month, and still 40% of the employees are choosing Windows. But we can't stop them joining just because there is no Windows. We must provide somehow. On top of that, 10 per month Windows PCs were broken by hardware issues. It has to be replaced immediately. So, we decided to shift them from Windows to M1 Mac. However, it is hard to switch all Windows users to Mac. So we decided to set the scope for users that can be replaced Windows to M1 Mac. Calling the early adopters and curators within the company, we build a community to spread the benefits of M1. Besides, forcing a switch cannot be called a wise option. For example, there are some requirements to use Windows for their clients, so I did not push them too much. Before we roll out M1, most Windows users had no experience with macOS. Like, what is the difference? Is there app compatibility with Windows? This was a new concern that needs to be cleared. So, we did a research on app usage rate. However, in a cloud based workplace like us, the most of our requirements could be satisfied with Chrome. Moreover, I described the benefits of moving from Windows to Mac, wrote a handouts of the improvements in performance, zoom quality, and battery life. The article by Apple's 11 Reasons Mac Means Business was very helpful to write this. Once these facts were shown, most of Windows users were comfortable for switching M1. But not all users are ready for Mac. Obviously, some of them have Windows specific requirements. For example, the performance test for Edge browsers, running macros on Excel, and digital certificates for Windows. For these requirements, we decided to build a cloud instances such as VDI. This made it possible to fulfill Windows requirements without physical Windows. It's a win-win situation. They don't have to carry two devices, and we can save a low stock Windows devices. After moving into M1, the effect was outstanding, mainly for business use. Performance issue was gone, just simply gone. Thermal issue was completely cleared by fanless MacBook Air. I think this is the most game-changing factor for M1. Me personally, definitely won't go back to Intel chips. And here are users' voices, especially battery life has been highly rated by many of users. Also, some people joked me that they wanted their time back for the significant performance improvement. That was hilarious. To summarize that, transparent and honest communication with the community is essential, especially when it comes to drastic change like these. It is also very important to get the core users and management to understand the background of the challenge. Be active to share knowledge. In an open and fair place such as the Slack channel and knowledge bases, building this kind of community can be capable to handle these substantial challenges. So far, this is all I've learned. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please post in the Q&A section. Oh, and don't forget to visit jmac.jp. We are hosting online meetups for Mac admins in Japan. So feel free to check in. Bye.